just off the road. I've been in A&E for 5 hours now. I think 5 hours. I'm dying for a piss. My right side is all smashed up. And I'm just walking past laughing. This is why everyone hates the NHS. It's not just the fact that they infect you with AIDS. It's the fact that they abuse you whilst you're there to make you more grateful. 5 hours, walking past laughing at me. Won't even give me a bottle to piss in. And of course you can hear them laughing just round the corner. I've shouted, I've screamed, they won't even give me a bottle. So I'll just lie here and piss myself. Once more, waiting to go under the knife. Neck, shoulder, hips, ankle, and the main problem that requires immediate surgery, eventually, is my kneecap, where the fibula has been fucked. And all I can think about is my poor bike. She's alone. Don't even know she's still there. Damaged. Poor bike. Okay, the day is, I'm pretty sure it's Monday. Whatever it is, March 2025. Saturday, I was dressed in full kit. There better be a crash on it somewhere. I was doing a 5 to 10 miles per hour on the bike. Plenty of witnesses, according to the police. And a 4x4, of course, got across in front of me and smashed into my leg. I blacked out briefly. I came to on the ground, screaming pain. Eventually, ambulance turned up. The ambulance wouldn't take me to the hospital because there was only one person inside it. She gave me grief because I said to her, you can't take off bike kit the same you can take off normal clothing because of the body armour, and she still tried, and it caused me a lot of pain. And so I had to show her how to do it, and she got very, very pissy because she knows everything and she has to cut everything off. Got to Musgrove Park Hospital in Taunton. They put my leg, I've lost count how many x-rays and scans and things I had. They put my leg into a so-called temporary cast, so it was a screaming pain. And then Monday, put my leg into another temporary cast, and about an hour later, I'm in surgery. They had a cancellation, so they put me into surgery at roughly 2:30 Monday afternoon. No idea what the date is. I'm thinking it's the second Monday in March 2025, so maybe the 10th of March, and I'm now in recovery ward. So at least for tonight, I got a single room. So I've had practically no food. 3 slices of toast, 2 sandwiches. That's pretty much all I've had to eat since Saturday 12 o'clock. Well, actually Saturday 11 o'clock in the morning was the last time I had food outside. Now it's just a waiting game. Got a text message from the police, but that's only because some liaison came round in hospital earlier today who deals with, I don't know if it's mental health or whatever. And I said, my concern is I don't know where my bike is, I don't know what's happened to it, if it's been stolen or if I've got ongoing costs, because if the police recover a bike, they can charge you £1,000 recovery and whatever they want to charge you per week storage. So I was claiming on the insurance. I've never done it before. The last time I had a crash, also admitted to the other person they caused it. That was done through a no win, no fee thing. So, yeah. Stress is not knowing what the fuck's going on or what's happening. But I do have movement in my toes. Leg looks a bit wonky. But, yeah, fuck it. I don't know if it is just the ward I was on, but the several wards I saw being wheeled around, and the only inmates in hospital are white people, and the only people doing the work are non-white people. You have to bear in mind that Jewish and Irish do not class themselves as white. So plenty of Jewish, plenty of Irish, and one of them got pissed off with me because something about Hamas was mentioned, and he's just like beaming with laughter. Oh, 10,000 terrorists dead. And my response was, 10,000, don't you mean 100,000? 90% of which were children, and you call them terrorists? At which point he shit himself. I was looking at his boss. I mean, he would look terrified. But they're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to agree with the propaganda. Okay. But when it's the same Israeli media, like the Sun newspaper and Sky News, coming out with these numbers, you know damn well it's barely a fraction of the reality. And he also got quite scared of the fact that I said nobody believes that it was pagers and little hand grenades. It was lithium batteries detonated by remote via the Wi-Fi tower. That's why people's earbuds are blowing up. Yeah, he looked rather shocked that a goyim would know these things. Yeah, all the surgeons and medical people, very obviously Jewish, and not just by the noses, but also by the surnames and tattoos. Very obvious Israeli tattoos. All the surgeons, from what I could see, were Jewish. Some had Israeli tattoos, river to the sea kind of thing. One of them was bragging and laughing about the pager attack killing 10,000 terrorists. Till I reminded him that it was mainly children that were killed. Physiotherapist, I think her name was Flo, kept twisting my foot, which was gouging the broken bones of my knee together. I screamed at pain. I kept screaming at her to stop doing it. She didn't know what she was doing. She hadn't seen the x-rays. She just thought I had a knee injury. And she kept twisting my leg, causing intense pain, even after I said to her not to do it. Lots of staff walking around, coughing, sneezing. One female doctor constantly snuffling, like she's got a cold. Other doctors, nurses, walking around, hacking their guts up. It's not surprised that now, after being in hospital for it's now Tuesday morning, post-op, I'm now sneezing and coughing, and I got phlegm in the back of my throat. None of these problems before I got here. One thing that can cause infections and TV diseases is little plastic tabs. They put a little oil or infection on it, stick it to you, and over the course of a few hours, it soaks into your body. I got an infection since I got in this fucking hospital. Keep the stickers on. They may be used later. Keep the stickers on. I was awake during the operation, and Guy just came in, who was part of it. Was a bit surprised when I saw I recognised him. I even said, "Yep, you were standing right there when you were doing it." He was a bit surprised. All the people up until the past 2 weeks who have been, "I'm Ukrainian, I am Ukrainian," are now all of a sudden, "I am from Russia, I am from Russia." So you go to the hospital and they get human beings to use as a petri dish. Now you got to bear in mind, these are the same people that ran Plum Island. So they get to use you as a human guinea pig, basically, petri dish. Interesting, I start recording and the alarm starts to go off. Yeah, so they get you for a week or whatever to try all their viruses. You end up with massive infections, and if you're lucky, they get cured. If not, well, it's just luck of the draw. Damage. Right ankle. Right fractures, breaks, below the kneecap, on the kneecap, I think also above the kneecap. Right thigh, right hip, right shoulder, elbow, wrist damage as well. On the top of the wrist. Starting to get swollen as well. I don't bruise, that's a problem. Neck, shoulder, back. Could be internal, but I'm not sure. 5 years ago when I was in hospital, the amount of morphine they were giving you was one small tube, like that kind of big and like that kind of length. And it was every 8 hours, one small tube. That was the maximum you could have. Now, it's 4 times the size. So it's like this long and it's like that fat. And there's 2 of them every 2 hours. So that's 8 times a dose. 4 times as often. That's 32 times the dose that you would normally have had 5 years ago. 32 times the dose of morphine. And they are really pushing the morphine here. Something you don't really notice until you go to a place like a hospital and you see that all these people have iPhones or the similar type of thing to iPhones. And you wonder why is they're spending thousands of pounds on a phone that does less of a job officially than your Android phone. Something you also notice, they've all got no sense of humour. They've all got no sense of irony or sarcasm. They don't watch television, they don't watch movies, they don't have any social life. They basically act like AI. I'm wondering if the signal blocker they get in their phones, which is supposed to block them from getting these controlling signals from Wi-Fi towers, like to make you more passive, more meant to like block it. I'm wondering if it's having another effect upon the brain, because it all seems to be the same. I said like a very simple joke, and it's like, oh yes, that would have been like humor of the time. That's quite funny. It was a joke about a white blonde girl, about 5 years old, talking as if she's got a big black boyfriend. And it's just they've got no sense of irony or humour. And they're all the same. It's like the Stepford fucking Wives. I think it's Wednesday. Turns out the physio's put the wrong brace on, which is probably why I'm in screaming fucking pain right now, just trying to get out of bed. I'm in excruciating fucking pain. So, yeah, they fucked up again. Every hospital has some form or another. Shush. Every form or another. They have some kind of exercise room. This is for physiotherapy. It is made available to the public so they can use it for physiotherapy. And yet the only people allowed to use this are members of the NHS, lesbians, and that's it, basically. No one else. Even if you are crippled, if you need physiotherapy. What this translates as yet another taxpayer-funded private health club for the NHS. Oh, the constant fucking pain, not just the leg, hiatus hernia, constant acid reflux. And the reason for this shit is simple. All the food is saturated with curry. Even the fucking salad has curry powder on it. I'm convinced the water's got fucking curry powder in it. The orbs, dead spirits, every fucking thing has curry powder in it. And the reason is very simple. Every person you work in the hospital, if you've got one Indian person, they're not cooking food for the patients. Oh no, taxpayers aren't paying for the food for patients. They're paying for food to feed to several hundred of their relatives. because each one Indian nurse comes here to abuse people, brings over several hundred of their relatives, unskilled, to live here. So that's where all the food's going. That's why it's all soaked with fucking curry to feed their families. That's the NHS budget. It's paying to feed immigrants. Millions of them. One way to stop billions being wasted by the NHS, stop using the kitchens to feed the relatives of the nurses. One nurse from India in an NHS hospital means that her entire extended family, several hundred people, are being fed from the kitchens of the NHS. This is why all the food in NHS hospitals, it might sound English, cottage pie, but it's all dosed with curry powder. Everything. So the taxpayer, you're not paying for nurses, you're not paying for healthcare, you're paying at least a couple of billion every year to feed immigrants. Did Operation Condor include the IRA? Brain is fried. I don't know if I've done this video or not. It is interesting how they're using the most subservient of races to replace white people. So they're basically replacing all the dominant races, white people, with the most subservient ones, easiest to control, the happiest little slaves, who all seem to be brown. Mexicans, Indians, minions. I am the kind of man, it's like Iron Man, but with a genocidal plan. Paranoia in hospitals is amazing. It's not just a fact that all of the iPhone owners look like AI clones. It's the nurses and those kind of people. They've all got these little... I've not seen it, I've only heard it. It's like a little tag they wear on their collar. And they have to speak into it to log on to something or to log off of something. And it's like, recognise, and they say their name, and it responds to them. Well, it's only working when we talk to it, yeah. That you do realise, for it to actually work that way, it must be constantly listening. We know, but we don't mind. So that means that the nurses are basically walking recording devices for what anyone and everyone says within their range. Think to the scene in the Dark Knight trilogy where he retuned his bat radar, whatever the fuck it was, so he could use it as a radar to see everything within the building at the same time. That is basically what they're doing. They're using the nurses as mobile listening posts. Another way they like to abuse patients is they'll give you like a double shot glass to put medicine in, like Gaviscon or something liquid. Basically, you have to lick it out of the pot like a puppy, like a dog. But they also put little notches all around the top, so it cuts your lips to shreds. Yeah, I got a bit pissed off being treated like a dog last night. I'd rather go without fucking painkillers and that kind of shit. Just occurred to me as I'm sat here with my improvised exercise equipment. Oh, my fucking leg. You want to see real improvisation skills? Go to a prison, any prison on the planet, and you will see the most demented, inbred fuckwit people, can't even tie their own Velcro, and yet they'll get tobacco from one cell out of a window along a vertical chute and into another window that they can't see. It'll take them hours, but they'll fucking do it. So, I try not to research medical shit I'm going through. I had a quick look about leg swelling. Apparently it's a normal thing with procedures around the knee. and I could have leg swelling forever. At the moment, this is it's Wednesday, so it's about 8 days after surgery, and if my leg is anything other than horizontal, let down flat, it swells up, and even let down like this, it's just my up on one shoulder, like this, it's actually swelling up. So I don't know. And standing up to go to the toilet, within a minute, the leg is swelling up and extremely painful. So there's no way I could actually go like around a shop to buy food unless I was sitting in something with my leg actually raised up like a fucking Hitler salute. First off, I'm not gay. I just got really long fucking hair. Biker thing. It's how homophobic the staff are in this hospital. They walk in to bring you lunch and see the hair untied and they go and wash your hands. Then they put the food down and go and wash your hands again. And then go and wash your hands again. Fuck's sake. It's an empowerment, my hair. Okay, break is here, but it means got nerve, muscle, tendon damage, so my foot won't go flat. So, strap around the foot and push out with the heel. Without too much strain on the kneecap. So I'm trying to push the heel out, but it only goes so far before these muscles start popping. Thing is, you'll get the physio saying, do this. And then you get them saying, oh no, don't do too much. Well, make your fucking mind up. I'm one of these people who tell me to do a certain amount, I do that amount. This leg brace is set on a 30-90 axis, which means that it will go 90 degrees, which is here, and 30 degrees in that direction, in theory, to stop me from causing too much damage. The main reason for the brace is hopefully the leg will fix relatively straight. That was a fucker. Trick is, try to keep your arms still. If you're doing this, you're not doing your leg, you're just doing your arms. It's not every night I notice it, but that's where I am at the moment. Nearly 2 weeks. But I noticed at least 2 nights I've been in this room, but in this room now for over a week. And you get this crap, you can see it on the ceiling sometimes. A load of crap up there. And you can see it more on the camera than in the video. You got a lot of shit come out through these vents at night. And what makes it obvious is in that corner is a green, on the ceiling is a green LED. Now I thought these were just like an infrared sensor because they show, when you break the sensor, it turns on these lights and things. But the thing is, there's other lights in it. There's no reason for all these lights. It's literally a one-room occupancy, one-person occupancy of this room because there's no other stuff to plug stuff in. It's literally just for a single bed. So why have they got all these lights? Now I don't know about these up here. That one is a normal down light. That one's a normal down light. These two are strobe lights. One of them
is a strobe ultraviolet light, the one at the back. The one at the front, I've not seen it do anything, but the one at the back is a strobe ultraviolet light. Because every now and again, when this crap's going on, you can see it sometimes reflecting with the green LED. When that starts to strobe, it'll flash like maybe once or twice a minute. That'll do nothing for half an hour. Then it'll go bang, bang again. And the entire room illuminates like you're in some toxic wasteland. Because the combination of the green LED, the blue strobe, and all the fucking atomized crap in the air, it feels like you're in murky water. I did get a picture to start with, but it didn't want to show up on camera for some reason. Because you can see a lot of this shit is literally clinging to everything. So, yeah, no, fit for discharge apparently, even though I can only use one leg. And yeah, what they want to do, the ambulance drivers to take me home, is they want me to give them the keys to the house and let them go for a wander around the house before we go there. Oh, it is for insurance purposes. Right. The guy who came up to speak to me looks about 19. Very, very, very twitchy and fidgety. Ambulance drivers do have a habit of doing drugs. I know this because one of my neighbours is also an ambulance driver. He's also one of the local drug dealers. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I recognise the voice at the end of the radio as being the spiteful, man-hating skank who was first on the scene, grinding my kneecap bones together out of spite. That I'm pretty sure I got that on camera. I should have that on my helmet camera. Not that helmet camera, but the other bruises on my body. Yep, flags. Yeah, so the last thing I want is then going around the house when I'm not there. See, that's just it. They're not saying they want to have a look for health and safety for when they drop me off, because they're not going in the house. All they're going to do when you get there is open the front door, make sure there's no shoes in the way, open the curtain so I can actually get a clear path in the front door into the living room. That is it. They've got no reason to go into the actual house itself, just the front opening. And yet, they want to go throughout the entire house the day before they drop me off. That's really fucking suspect. And the amount of anxiety I've got with the abuse I've suffered over the past 2 weeks in prison, hospital, inmate, same difference. I don't want any more stress, such as having strangers in the house when I'm not there. Now, if they were to have said, when we take you to the house, we'll open the door first, have a look around to make sure there's no obstructions, and then you can go into the house, I'll be hobbling into the house on the fucking gutter frame thing. So I'm not going to be on a stretcher going in, so they're not escorting me in, they're just going to make sure I don't fall over when I, get the steps. That would be different. But they're not saying that. They say they want to go there the day before and go through the entire house. Now, I've got nothing illegal in my house. Like 30 litres of vodka, but that I made myself. But there's nothing actually illegal in the house. There's no cannabis plants or piles of drugs or crap like that. But it's a violation to have strangers in your home where you're meant to feel safest. And that shit's not going to fucking happen. But this anti-white propaganda is in every room, every wall. And at a glance, you think, it doesn't look like that. And then you look at it at a different angle, and yes, you've got a black woman, you've got a brown woman, and then you've got a scared, screaming white man. But when you get closer to the picture, there's no white man there. It's just like a board with things in the background. But when you actually look at it from a distance, it is a terrified, screaming white man. These optical illusions are all over the fucking place.